Welcome in, everybody. Shepherd's Podcast. We're back again. Glad you're here with us.
At least for a couple more times before summer, right?
Yeah, probably.
This may be it. This one and next week may be it.
I don't know.
May is crazy.
May is pretty crazy. I got the calendar in front of me right now. May's pretty crazy.
And that's the thing about it. You have an early Easter, and it's just like summer has moved up right into the middle of April almost.
Oh, yeah.
But I know there's weddings in May, and there's graduations. Ladies' retreats first weekend, and then Mother's Day is the next weekend, and that's college graduation weekend. Third weekend is our graduate recognition Sunday, which you're preaching, by the way. And we need people to register for that. Fourth weekend, Memorial Day is early. It's like May 24th.
Yeah, 25th. Yeah.
25th.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend, we kick off our VBS.
Right.
So, boom. It's everything's exploded here.
And then you're right there. And don't forget, in the middle of all that, it's dance recital and band recital. It's concert
final
season.
Exams and proms.
Yep.
Somebody had their prom last weekend. Riverside had theirs. So,
speaking of concerts, have you ever been to First Baptist Greenville?
Yes.
I have not been in the church. I have jogged by it many times.
It's been a long time, but I've been in there.
They have a huge pipe organ in there.
Yeah, they do.
A huge pipe organ.
It's not a Southern Baptist church. They withdrew from the Southern Baptist Convention. It's really tied to Furman University and would be on the liberal side of biblical interpretation.
Anderson had a concert.
In case you wanted to know about that.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I haven't heard a lot about it.
Yeah, it's
usually Baptist churches you kind of get a lot of. But Anderson had a concert in there on Saturday, and the first time I'd been in there, it was neat.
Yeah, prime property.
Yeah. I love that they have trees all over their parking lot.
They do have trees.
You have shaded parking.
The first 5K I ever did started at that church.
Oh, okay.
The trail's right behind it and goes up the Cleveland part. And the first 5K I ever did started there.
We did something there when I was a kid, and Daryl Croft had something that we did there. Like a children's choir or something.
African children's choir come in or something?
I don't remember, but I remember getting lost in the hallways. Yeah, but
Okay.
I have been. It's been that long though.
All right. Do we have listeners of the week? We've been doing that. Have we just
haven't really
away from that?
But I do have one.
Okay, listener of the week, go.
Julia Russo.
Oh, daughter of County Councilman Joey Russo.
Yep.
Outgoing county councilman.
Well, he'll finish his term in December. He's not going to run again. He's not. He's not running. The election's in November, so somebody will be elected in November to take office in January.
Yeah.
But he's still in the middle of it. But
Julia's great.
She's a doll.
She listens.
She's about third grade.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know. Maybe
She's a little bit older than Riley, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For sure. For sure. But my Julia.
Yes.
Claims, well, you named your kid after me. So they call each other twins. And,
okay.
Yeah, but she listens and asks Joey to explain things. So,
well, how about that? Well, when you see me Sunday, you ask for extra lollipops because I got them for you.
There you go.
Cool beans.
All
I
right.
need Joey to come explain some things to me, too.
Joey's got a great testimony. And
he's been in every church that there is.
Yeah. Catholic when he was 17, 18, and
then went from that to Pentecost and
Yeah.
Baptist somewhere in between.
yeah, yeah.
Just a great guy. Went to the Citadel.
Yep.
Citadel grad. Yeah, great guy. Hey, so coming up is the Shepherd's Gathering.
Yep, let's talk about that.
It's 2 weeks from today.
Registration closes.
But registration closes 2 days from today. You got 2 days left to register.
And to file your taxes.
And I promise you, I will close that registration. Do not call me. And file your taxes. You got 2 days left. We're between 50 and 60 who've registered. You got word that we've got people coming from as far away as
Illinois.
You heard from your Virginia people? Are they still coming?
I don't know. Todd Stifler. Chad Fickett. Where are you at?
You know, a lot of guys talk.
Yeah,
but can you produce is the question.
That's a good question.
So
it's a good question.
Well, we'll have it whether they come or not. You do need to register. And Daniel will have registration information on the screen, and maybe we'll post it in the comments of at least the Facebook side. Real quick, Monday night, 6:00, just a friendly dinner. We're not using the word fellowship. Just a friendly dinner. We're going to have dinner together and laugh and Monday night, 6:00, happy hour.
Oh my!
Happy hour dinner at 6:00, and
it's like we're trying.
We're just gonna have fun, eat. The food will be great. We're gonna laugh. Dr. Mark Williams is scheduled to be there, so hopefully we will have maybe some open mic Q&A, and the General Assembly agenda should be finalized by then, so we might be able to share some directions, things you can look forward to. Tuesday morning, breakfast is at 8, and then at 9:00, our morning session begins. And let me say, all of our sessions, we're going to do this in our student center, and it'll be a little bit, we'll be closer together, it'll be a little more comfortable. And also, of course, you got that big LED wall, and so it'll be good. At 9:00, Dr. Mark Williams is speaking. I think he is speaking from Psalm 77, and David led Israel with integrity of heart. After that, we'll take a break, and then Chris Kilgore is speaking, and he's going to talk about the David-Jonathan relationship in the Bible, sort of in the lines of every pastor needs a Jonathan. We'll have lunch. Then that afternoon, Neil Nolan is going to open up the afternoon session. He's going to talk about my heroes trying to kill me. The idea that here is David who fought for Saul. Mm-hmm. When he fought Goliath, he was fighting on Saul's behalf. Mm-hmm. And yet now Saul is trying to kill him as he went through all those years in the wilderness and running. I'm going to close it out with letters from Ziklag. Then we'll have dinner. We might, now I haven't thrown this at you guys yet. Y'all know I love to do things like this. We might at the end of my session do another Q&A. Some of the guys want us to do a live podcast. Maybe we'll just record it as a podcast, the Q&A session. You'll have your disclaimer there, I'm sure, and we'll all be good.
We'll put it on the wall. And
put it on. Then Wednesday we do it again. 8:00 we have breakfast. 9:00 Dr. Mark Rutland for all of the morning, going through Psalm 23 with us. We'll close out with communion, and then we're done. And I've talked to some pastors this morning, and guys are really excited and really looking forward to it. And I just want to encourage you, haven't signed up, sign up. No, I mean, we'll have some discussions, but there can be no politics, and I'm not going to be announcing camp meeting schedules because I don't even know them and don't even care. And so sign up.
Actually, the day that this airs, today, Monday the 13th, the group rate ends at the Marriott.
Okay, so today's the last day to lock in your group rate.
So you got to lock that in today.
What'd you say?
Eddie Hardy.
Is he signed
coming.
up?
Eddie Hardy.
It's going to be great.
Well, I guess I'll come.
That ought to get everybody here. Everybody should come. If Eddie Hardy can come.
Wow.
That's going to be great.
I can't imagine how much he had to clear off his schedule to make that happen.
I might have Eddie share testimony.
You should.
I might have Eddie share
He'll
testimony.
have a nice tan from whatever vacation he was just on.
Well, no, I started to say he had to do Team 10, but he's on the council with me, so he
graduated.
That's right.
He grew up.
It was so nice last weekend to sit and watch the Masters and not have other obligations.
Must be nice.
It was. Although the guy I was pulling for didn't win, I was pulling for Scotty Scheffler to win. And
who's the guy that he was winning for a minute yesterday?
Yeah, Young.
But he had to get an afternoon tee time because whatever tour he's playing in, him and his family find a local church and go to that church
Oh, I don't know.
Sunday morning? I'd have to go back and look.
That one, I didn't hear that one. I think Scheffler would have pulled it out, but he's playing with this guy from China, and I don't say that in a derogatory way, but just as a mark of identification, I think the guy's last name was Lee, L-I, and he had like a 15 on one hole. Had this astronomical score, and I think Scheffler had to stand for about 20 minutes waiting on this guy to try to find his ball. And at that, I mean, if you've ever played golf, you know if you ever lose the rhythm of your swing, it really does mess with you. So, we diverted there. Shepherd's Gathering. Come on, boys and girls.
Sign up.
Sign up. You got 2 days left.
TheShepherdsGathering.com.
TheShepherdsGathering.com. So today is going to be a hodgepodge of discussions, and we don't know where it's going to lead us and where it's going to go. It's just going to be whatever comes to my mind in the moment.
It's Cameron Young, by the way.
Cameron Young
Finds a church.
Well, good for him.
And his wife and 3 kids, they go on the road with him, and he finds a church.
All right, so we are going to have that discussion in next week's podcast.
Right. Okay.
All right, great.
I'm good with that.
That's a great lead in. That's a great lead in next week's podcast, and we're going to talk about travel ball in the American church.
I need my steel-toed shoes for the next one.
Well, I did preach a little bit about it yesterday. So,
Yeah,
but you're welcome. But today's hodgepodge.
Yeah.
I will. We did get a comment from Renee Talley.
Okay.
She wanted us to clean up something.
Renee Talley's husband is an official in the state of Tennessee.
Yes, he is.
He's
up there.
Tim Hill.
I know what you're thinking. It depends on who you ask. Where those
it
next
depends
2
on who you ask,
offices
who's
go,
who,
in what state.
So, but we all know who's in charge, and that's Renee. So anyway,
Renee was, here's a tie-in for this weekend. Renee was a judge at Teen Talent in Tennessee with Dr. Walt Malden of the Lee University Singers, who will be with us on Sunday.
But Dr. Walt Malden won't be with us on Sunday. But yes,
he will. I'm going to see to it.
This coming Sunday, Lee University Singers will be with us, and that'll be a great day. The kids are away on their retreat. We got a kids retreat, so some of the kids will be in the building with us. Both of you guys were Lee Singers. Y'all wearing your Lee Singers shirts or jackets or whatever you...
I never had one. That was after me.
Yeah, I've already set it out.
Okay.
Yeah. Bo's ready to go.
And it still fits.
Might fit better.
It does. It's a little looser than it was.
It might fit
it's
better.
a little looser than it was.
No, that
sure.
freshman spread.
Woo, it's a little looser than it was.
So Renee had a question.
She said,
because we were talking about all these terms that are unique to the church, like tribe. And I'm going to stop and say I saw a video of a general official last week, and he used the words, well, in our tribe. And I was like, oh, man, there it is. Go ahead.
Oops. Well, then you know who doesn't listen to the podcast.
Only when he gets calls and says, have you heard this?
Right. She said, what term do we use instead of fellowship, community? I would also think union, fraternity, koinonia would also feel weird.
Yeah, I think all those words would be weird. And the fact that it's unique to the church, fellowship, doesn't mean it's wrong for the church.
Right.
No.
Now, we had a group that started years ago, and we're doing a variation of it now, called the Friendship Company.
Makes me think of that old Sandy Patty Kids album from the 90s. Friendship Company.
Well, this is what it was called. It was called Friendship Company, and they met Friday night once a month, and it was a way of meeting new people. And so we have a variation of it now. We call it Friends. And so I think you could probably use the term. I think you could use the term fellowship, and I just think it is uniquely a Christian term. I think you might.
It's not that you shouldn't use it.
Yeah, it's just you don't hear it any other else. Again, you might could just call it, Shepherd's Gathering. I mean, you might call it a gathering. You call it whatever works for you. I think it'll be fun. Hodgepodge, jumping all over. This is the 25th anniversary of the making of "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" 25 years ago, "Oh Brother, Where in Constant Sorrow," 25 years ago, one of the greatest soundtracks ever put together. Let's go down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way.
I'm a Dapper Dan, man.
I've never seen it.
You've never seen it?
No.
Oh.
It does not rank very high on the list of things that I would like to see that I haven't seen.
You need to watch it.
However,
Do not seek the treasure.
I did.
I know where you're going.
This weekend.
I know where you're going.
Well, they wanted to watch movies and they wanted to watch older movies. So we tried to start with You've Got Mail, which I love You've Got Mail.
Is that
Tom
the
Hanks,
one with Tom
Meg
Hanks?
Ryan.
Okay.
And
I thought that was Sleepless in
it
Seattle.
is. They did another one. I think I love You've Got Mail because growing up, it was one of the 6 VHS cassette tapes that Grandma had at her house.
Okay, so you watched.
So we watched it, and they're laughing at me. I'm singing along with the soundtrack and everything, but they were just not the concept of dial-up email. It's very dated. It's very dated.
I couldn't associate.
Could not chat room. What's a chat room? I mean, they just couldn't. So I was like, let's just throw on the Three Amigos, and I know you're gonna hate it, but let's just see, just so I can say that I tried. And I only wanted to get to Whippoorwill. I only wanted to get to that part. And it kind of started, Natalie's giggling a little bit. And then it just kind of kept going and
kept building.
And then
El Guapo.
It got to, all right, it's probably late. No, I want to see what happens. And then when Steve Martin gets shot, they're like, what? What have
I've been shot already.
And so we ended right there.
Okay.
And we have to finish it. But they loved it. Thought it was hilarious. Want to see how it ends?
It is hilarious.
Yeah.
And when you were little,
I was so proud.
You watched it every week.
Oh, yeah. And I told them about the lady that watched me.
Yeah.
Thinking I was preaching.
Yeah. You were doing that Three Amigos salute. And
no, it was the Harry Flugelman.
It'll be a cold day. Yeah.
He says it'll be a cold day, you know where.
Yeah, I've said that before.
And I'm going through the whole monologue as a little kid, and the lady that watched
me thought you were just
thought I was preaching. Yep. Nope.
What does that tell you about?
I was doing a monologue.
What does that tell you about our preaching?
Yeah.
Huh? All right.
Take the Amigos clothes.
The Amigos are out of the mansion.
Yeah.
I thought we were great at it.
Some stuff that they heard, Natalie was like, that's why you say that.
They start getting the references.
Some of that stuff sticks with you. Hodgepodge. So I actually had a member tell me they hated my haircut.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, which is fine. Everybody has their own opinion. But it was actually, how long are you going to do this?
Listen, I've told you this.
How long are you going to let this go?
I've told you this
Who told you that looked good?
I've told you this off the podcast. I don't think I've said it on, but I walked into my barbershop.
Up in Traveler's Rest.
And the guys that cut my hair were going, who's fading your dad's hair now? Why
I got to go back this week.
I don't know who was telling them. I mean, obviously we all go way back because we played ball with Justin and everything, but they're like, who's cutting your dad's hair? Who's getting your dad a fade? And I'm going, I don't know. Like, he's never been here, and you're talking about
You're worried about it. Yeah. It's the world we live in.
Why do you think people have, maybe this is an unfair question, but why do you think people
feel they have the right?
Yeah, have that right. Like, I would never go up to somebody and just say, I don't like that.
Well, I think for me, this is my, let's see, I became full-time here in 1994. So, in August, I've been a full-time minister at this church for 32 years. And I've been pastor, if I survive till January, it'll be the 25th year. And so the longer you're with somebody, the more licensed you feel probably to say certain things. And I don't think anything about it, it's just the reality of, okay.
I think there are some haircuts that are just iconic. Okay? You think about Richard Simmons. You think about
Bob Ross.
Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
So you,
Donald Trump.
Walt Malden.
Yep.
If we would have walked in and seen Walt Malden in a high and tight fade, we would have been like, whoa. And so I get it, because for a long time it was the Jerry Madden, it was the haircut.
Well, and the hair would shake during the sermon.
Right.
And that was always part of, everybody would laugh about that.
So I think it's just,
I know when you're anointed because that hair is shaking. I was like, well, I may just be mad. That may have nothing to do with anointing.
I don't think, I like it. And
I like
the girls
not having
like
to fool with it.
Jen likes it. They've all commented.
All of that being said, Mom likes it.
Well, there you go.
But and I don't say that other than to say, okay, everything's under scrutiny here.
It's very true.
Hodgepodge.
It's very
everything's
true.
under scrutiny. Everything is scrutinized. That's and you want to be a pastor. It'll be fun. They said.
You want to be my latex salesman.
Oh, guys, I got to go to Cleveland next week, and I'm struggling. You better get your disclaimer.
Oh boy. Put it out there.
What? We have the Council of 18 meeting, and we're setting the agenda for the assembly. And I know there's going to be reports. And I know I don't want to be that guy, or I'm tired of being that guy.
The angry grandpa?
Yeah, well, that's all. Nobody wants to hear anything I have to say except praise Cathedral. You see things that the minute say this is the way reality is supposed to be, and then you look at reality and that's not the way it is. And what do you do? Because if you raise your hand and ask the question, you're the bad guy. And I did ask it in the last meeting. Okay, I'm looking at this report and I see this, but where's this? And we don't ever. Well, okay, but hello.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We brought this up several episodes ago. But
Did we?
Along this vein.
What did y'all say? Because
No.
I got to leave Sunday.
I can
think you
guarantee you I said nothing.
I don't care. I work for Jerry Madden, so. But the thing about it is that you get elected to a board, a position, a committee to be a voice.
Yeah.
And you feel a certain responsibility to bring concern.
And I did mention, and I heard this last week, and I think it's so brilliant. I did mention that I'm at a point in my career, I don't have anything to prove.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some things I still want to accomplish.
Sure.
Somebody said that last week, and I thought that's a great quote. And you are elected to be a voice, but being that voice can really ostracize you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
It can really, I'm sitting and I've probably been more that voice this year than I've ever been on many different venues. And I'm sitting there thinking, I bet they don't reelect me to the Council of 18 because every youth director in the system is going to be telling it, don't vote for him. Like youth directors. I do like youth directors. I just think.
We know.
There might be some places that a different type of operation might work well. That was all I said. But no, I mean, you get tired of being that guy.
Yeah.
And in the Council of 18 room, and Jamie brought this up on his podcast, Council of 18 room, half of those guys are under appointment by the executive committee. The 5 guys sitting up on in the front.
The gorillas, as David Blair used to call them.
If you're a state overseer, those are the guys who are going to determine your next appointment.
Sure.
So are you going to say anything? Are you going to raise your hand and ask any questions? And so then it comes to, okay, but if they're not, who is? I don't know. I have spent more, I want to say this correctly. I don't want to be misheard. But not being denominationally affiliated has crossed my mind more this year than it ever has. How about that? And I'm not going to do anything with that. But just, oh, gee, I don't need this.
Yeah.
And I understand why some guys just write letters and say, no, I'm not going to serve.
Yeah, Loran does that pretty often.
I'm not interested in being on the council of 18. I get it, because you just get tired of being ostracized because you ask a question, and I don't. I'm not aiming at anything. I just look at the minutes, and if it doesn't, if I see a discrepancy, I want to say, okay, but this isn't what this says. Don't we need to go by the minutes?
Right.
Yeah. That's the way Pop raised me.
Right.
What does the book say?
Right.
That's what you go by.
Right.
So yeah, y'all can pray next week. I'll be in the middle of all that for 3 days, and
I think
we'll see.
I think we have a hard time too sometimes, because anytime, like if my kids ask me a question, I can take it defensively, like they're against what they're asking me. And it's not that they're against me or I'm against them. They're just asking a legitimate question. I need answers for clarity. I'm not questioning your authority. I'm not questioning your integrity. I'm just
goes back to the old, and one of the questions that I may ask, it would be on the basis, look, I know this didn't start with you.
Right.
Because I've been in here for 6 years.
The precedent has been there.
Yeah. This didn't start with you. I get it. But when you read this, it says this, and when you look at the reality, that's not what it is. And so are we just going to continue to ignore this?
There's been a shift, and I don't know in what or when specifically, but there's been a shift in culture a little bit. Mine and Daniel's generation probably could be identified as the because I said so generation,
right?
Yeah.
Where when our moms and dads said, "Hey, why do I do it? Because I said so." We just did it. But now I think of my youngest nephew who's about to graduate high school.
Okay.
Blake will be the first one to go, yeah, but why?
Yeah.
Why? And that's more common in his generation.
Right.
Is I need a little bit more than
I'm smart. Explain to me.
I need you to explain this to me. Like, not just because I said so or not just because that's what it is. I need you to get in the details a little bit.
Yeah, and that gets into generational differences, because if I said why, because I did hear because I said so, and if I said why after that,
right,
corporal punishment was,
right.
The sound of leather flying through belt flaps was the next sound you heard.
Well, some of that, like what you're talking about, it made me think, like, for a long time, that's just how we do it, and that's because I said so.
Right.
But nobody ever wanted to be the
why?
But why?
Yeah.
But why?
I don't know. We'll see. And Jimmy crack corn, and I don't care. Except I don't care about what may or may not happen down the road, but I do care about you've been entrusted with this responsibility. Mm-hmm. What do you do? So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that shakes out. Hodgepodge, go. Your turn.
It'll drop this week. We haven't done one in a while, but sometimes when we have free time, Jen and I do a podcast. Yeah. And we did a couple months ago, we did a couple of Wednesday nights where we just opened it up for the kids to submit questions, and the students could ask things. Yeah. And some of them asked about, we didn't live stream it or anything, but some of them asked, I wish I could have this to be able to go back. So we're going to record their questions.
Oh, cool.
And how we responded to them. So one, they can have them and go back. Yeah. And it's a really good insight for parents to hear, these are the things that my kids are really asking about and thinking about, and
that they may not ask you.
That you may not ask you.
Right.
I mentioned Blake, for example. We had a discussion.
Blake Shelton?
No, my nephew. we had a discussion Easter Sunday. He had very specific questions about Sheol and Abraham's bosom and the holding place, and that's pretty deep for a high school senior. But
so what exposed him to that?
Where he went to church Easter Sunday morning.
Okay.
I believe I don't know if I have those details right, but I believe the pastor preached that the thief on the cross
today you'll be with me in paradise
could have been the first one in heaven. Because he would have been one of the first ones to die after Jesus. And
I would argue with him. Nah,
I don't know. I don't know.
Actually, paradise was a section of Sheol reserved for the righteous.
But that's what led to the discussion.
I got you. Well, at least he's talking about it.
Absolutely.
At least he's having, and I'll talk about this next week, but I'm trying to think of the guy's name. I can see it. A Scottish, Alistair Begg, did a sermon, and he talks about the thief on the cross and what it must have been like for him.
The man said I could come.
Yeah, that's one of the great sermon clips you'll ever hear is that little 3-minute section of that. Throw a hodgepodge out, Daniel. What's on your mind?
You had
co-host 2.
Co-host number 2. That way ChatGPT gets it right. You had an interesting share the other day with Jeremiah Johnson on the Sean Ryan show.
Yeah. Was that crazy?
Yeah. I had actually seen it probably a day or so before you had posted it, and I didn't watch it through the entirety. It's like an hour and something long.
It's long.
So I haven't seen all of it, but the parts that I saw when it was talking about the crucifixion nail, it was like, wow.
This guy is an expert. He has his PhD on the crucifixion, and there were things he shared. And he starts out. He was invited to speak at the World Economic
Forum.
World Economic Forum. All these people, and they wanted him to come and share. And he took this replica of the crown of thorns. And he said, so I'm standing there holding the replica, and I began to talk, not realizing that a thorn has pricked my finger. And the whole time I'm talking, there's blood dripping off my hand, and the whole forum is like, is he doing this for effect?
Right.
I would tell anybody, and I shared it on my Facebook, go look that up and listen to that. It really goes to the Shroud of Turin?
Turin, yeah.
And how when he came to the belief and science was convinced this had to be, and when he talked about for that image to be imposed to the degree that it's still there 2,000 years later, he talked about whatever happened was the equivalent of, what was it, 32.
I didn't get all
of a nuclear bomb.
Of a nuclear bomb.
Is this the guy? And I didn't see what you guys were talking about, but I think I've seen this guy on TikTok. Is he the one that talked about they took a photo of the shroud?
Yes.
And the photo had radial imprints, and not of the shroud, the photo of the shroud, and they were like, "This is impossible."
How the physicists went there to study it.
Yes.
And for them, it was a free trip to Italy and free wine and spaghetti at night.
Yeah.
And then they all left with their mind blown.
Right.
And for them, it was, we're going to go disprove this.
Right.
I would tell anybody to go look at that. It's really phenomenal.
I thought it was neat. Sean Ryan, for those of you that don't know, he questions everything.
Yeah.
He doesn't necessarily have a faith slant on anything that he does. He just pursues truth.
Because one of the things the guy tries to do, he says, I want you to believe when I'm done.
That's right.
It was a very apologetic approach. But, I sent it to, I posted it, and I know that your brother doesn't have Facebook or doesn't go there. So I sent him a link to it and said, next time you're sitting in the car waiting on somebody you're about to arrest to come home or whatever, this might be, you might enjoy listening to this. And his immediate reply was, well, I don't know who the first guy is, but I listen to Sean Ryan every week. And I said, well, okay, so he's reputable for sure. Yeah. Reputable for sure.
He's got some cool stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool how this guy, Jeremiah Johnson, he gets they had never had a faith forum at the World Economic Forum.
Yeah.
But now they do.
Now they do.
Part of it because of his testimony and how he came.
It's incredible.
Yeah,
it's
pretty neat.
Well, we're at 35. Let's close out with kind of a Easter reflections because we're a week away, a week removed. Mm-hmm. First we had Easter, and yesterday we had the Sunday after Easter. Oh my word!
Where'd everybody go?
Gee, and I looked last week. Loran's church called off Wednesday night after Easter. Didn't have any services, and I thought that's not a bad idea. Because for those who don't know, when Easter Sunday's over, we're exhausted. That week leading up to it, and we had something. We started with Palm Sunday, and we had baptisms, and we had the night of worship, and we had like 18 that morning baptized. Night of worship that night. Monday and Tuesday, the worship center was open for prayer for 8 hours, so we had people coming and going for prayer. And honestly, I got more personal feedback from that than from anything else we did that week. People saying it was so nice to come into the worship center. Music was playing, and I could just sit and pray and meditate. And one lady said I just came and brought my journal and was just writing, and it was wonderful. So that may be something we look at doing even going forward. Wednesday was Wednesday, Easter egg hunt, all that stuff. Thursday, we did our first ever upper room communion service, Thursday night at 7. We always do a Good Friday noon service, but you have people who work, and this year the kids were in school on Good Friday.
Yeah.
So
they had Monday off.
Doing it Thursday night, we were able to give them an opportunity. Then we did Good Friday on Friday. I wasn't there because your grandmother had open heart surgery. You weren't there because your grandmother had open heart surgery. She's doing well, by the way.
Unplanned open heart surgery.
Went in for a cath on Tuesday
and
did open heart on Friday, and she came home the next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Incredible.
We were over there today.
Yeah.
All good.
Saturday, we did the resurrection breakfast. Had Dale Gilbert there. It's fantastic. Sunday was a great day. Lots of people. I don't know how many people. How many did you have? I do not know. I do not ask. And honestly, I don't care.
Yeah.
Everybody that wanted to be there and could get there was there. I can't control the rest of them.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
I can't do anything about the rest of them. Everybody that wanted to be there and could be there was there. And I have no authority over the rest of them. Of course, our offerings all went to missions. I'm not going to give the amount. I'm not putting this out on social media. Just not doing it. I will say it was the largest Easter offering we've ever received.
It was $47.
Keep that to yourself. No, I on the hodgepodge circuit, so weary of how much social media is used to promote our sales under the guise of promoting our church.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we thank the Lord for 20 million people who were in church.
See, again, I go back to, I said this last time, it's different for me. Like, I don't see a problem with, hey, we had a great day at church today. Here's some pictures, whatever.
Yeah.
But this was the offering, and this is how many people were there, and this is how many volunteers we had. And then I'm like, why are we doing that?
Because we're numbers driven, and the better I make myself, the better I make church look, the better I make myself look.
Yeah.
We had a great offering, largest one we've ever had, and our prayer was, Lord, give us what you can trust us with. Mm-hmm. That was it. Not a penny more. Yeah. Don't ever give me more than you can trust me with.
Yeah.
Easter was great, and I guess we'll probably stick with that format again next year, other than hopefully your grandmother not having bypass surgery.
Yeah, I don't think she'd want to do that again.
I don't think that's high on her list right now, but nonetheless. On this hodgepodge day, we're at 40 minutes. What else? What have we overlooked? What did we miss? Looking at summer coming up. Do have a lot of things going on. You guys are going and doing a camp in Montana.
Yep.
We have a team going to Dominican Republic. We're going to be repaving parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's going to be playing travel ball.
Well, that's next time.
Yeah, you want to do a tease on that?
You can do a tease on that. You and Daniel. I'm just going to sit back here and eat popcorn and watch.
You're just thankful that your girls.
I don't even need this anymore.
No.
So I was preaching yesterday about the pearl of great price. Mm-hmm. Those two parables that are back to back, where the man found the treasure hidden in the field. He re-hides it. I love that part of it. And I love that Jesus told that part of it. And then he goes and sells everything he has to buy that field because he's found the greatest treasure. And the same with the merchant who finds the pearl. He sells everything he has to buy that pearl. And it's an easy application. We have found in Jesus the greatest treasure that there is. Therefore, we should sell out everything else. But the reality is we don't sell out. We just try to squeeze him in to our other kingdoms. And one of those kingdoms I may have alluded to. Did I allude to it? I may have alluded to was the travel ball kingdom. That
you didn't allude. You were pretty direct.
Was I direct?
That was pretty direct.
I think I might have said something all about, pastors across America last week got this text. Pastor, great Easter service. Loved it. We're going to be out for a while. It's travel ball season. So
I know Dr. Rutland does Psalm 23.
Yeah.
I've been reading Louis Giglio's breakdown of Psalm 23.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to do it on some Sundays in May in the youth department. But the first verse, the Lord is my shepherd, he breaks it down like this. You were created to be led. You were created to be shepherded.
Wow.
And if you sit there and say, not me, I'm not being led or shepherded by anybody, congratulations. You have just realized that you are your own shepherd.
Yeah.
So
you're your own God.
Who's leading us? Yeah. That's his whole big first thing is who's leading you or what is leading you.
Great insight. Great insight.
What is leading you? Where? Yeah.
The Lord is my shepherd. Is he?
Right.
Is he? All right. So that's where we'll go next week. I don't know if we'll get 42 minutes worth in. But we better record it today because
you'll be in Cleveland. And then we do need to shut down for the summer because Lord knows what you'll come back with.
Maybe a new haircut.
That's what they want to hear about.
A new haircut next week.
Thanks for being with us. See you next time.